A while back, I was asked to give a talk. I think it was at UC Berkeley, and I said, "Could you please give us a survey of where we are with technology?" And I say, "I ain't going to do that because, frankly, it's pointless." Because here, too, it's not about the technology of the moment, because the technology of the moment is going to be here for a moment. The truth is, and again, not that one shouldn't understand that and absorb it and embrace it, but too often I find that our mindsets get hooked on an individual piece of technology. I was at another conference recently, and someone, and I'll come back to this story probably a couple of times, and they said, we really shouldn't, journalism schools, we're spending too much time teaching technology. Look what happened with Flash. We spent all that time teaching people Flash, and now Flash is going to be dead. I went, what? That's crazy. Yeah, Flash might die. Assume it does. Does that mean we don't teach people how to use tools? We don't teach people how technology impacts what we do in our world of journalism? I can assure you that anyone who learned Flash learned profoundly about how to architect stories and architect user experiences, and whatever they learn there will translate to whatever the next new bit of technology comes along. And that's the kind of thought process we have to take to technology. But the pace of, all of these, whether it's the networks, whether it's computers, whether it's mobile, all of these things are going to continue to change, which is crucial to keep in mind. And not only will they change, the interactions between them cause change. The flows of data between them cause change. So it's just that. It's not just the capability of the tools, but it's the effects they have, and it's how we as users, in a sense, put value and take value from the network of technology. So again, the pace of change will not abate. I was having a conversation recently with an assistant dean of a J school, and I said, sometimes I fear that there is this perception that we are in a period of transformation, as in moving from one steady state back in the heyday of newspaper monopolies over to another steady state where all will be glorious again. And that ain't going to happen. Because if anything, the pace of change is quickening, all right? And it's constant, which is why all of what we're talking about here is so important, because it's not just about rethinking how journalism is done, how journalism is presented to the user, all of the aspects and attributes of how we perform journalism. It's not just figuring out how that works for today. It's the ongoing process of continuing to rethink that as things move forward. Absolutely crucial. So technology, again, when I think of technology in terms of J schools, it can provide great value, but only if we make it so. And I think it's crucially important for every journalist to have a good understanding of that, have a good understanding of the tools. I'm not saying everyone has to be able to write code, that everyone has to be a computational journalist, but everyone needs to have an understanding of how these pieces fit together and have an understanding of as many possible tools as they can, because indeed it's the technology that defines the palette of the medium, right? It defines what we can do. It is the tools of our trade. And so, if anything, we need to figure out how to get that to be a more pervasive component of how we school the next generations of journalists.